This episode of On the Line is presented to you by Living.fit, your one stop for all your fitness needs. Make sure you go download the app Living.fit today. Now here's the show. Welcome to On the Line. Today is Tuesday, January 25th. We got a great show for you guys. Obviously, we got Eryk Anders coming up here in just a second. Awesome time catching up with him. After that, we go over UFC 270. Go through the fights, talk a little bit of everything that's been going on. We give our performance bonuses for UFC 270. We give our fights of the night for UFC 270. So that's a lot of fun. And then we wrap up with a little NFL talk and send you on your way. But first and foremost, if you are watching on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you're listening on Apple, Spotify, Deezer, Stitcher, Google, iHeart, I don't know, whatever, hit that follow. We appreciate everybody. So without further ado, here is Eryk Anders, your boy. We're joined by your boy, UFC veteran Eryk Anders. Eryk, my man, how we doing?
Doing awesome. And yourself?
Doing great. Just got off COVID protocol, so feeling good, feeling free.
Get that Omicron or what?
I think so. I don't know. I didn't lose my taste and smell, so that's really, I'm happy about that. I did want to try it out. I did want to see what it was like though, to lose taste and smell and like drink some kind of liquor. So apparently, like, see if you actually could taste it or not. I don't know. Yeah, just like if I can't taste like whiskey or something, that'd be kind of wild. But you can feel the burn. I don't know. Anyway, so I was checking the socials before we did this. Are you sponsored by Whataburger?
I wish. Hold on. My phone is ringing. Yeah, I wish. Hopefully soon. But they just opened up a new one right next door to the gym that I train at. So
that's dangerous. That's dangerous.
Yeah. You might see your boy fighting a heavyweight here before long.
Might just have to stick to light heavyweight at this point. Just kind of a little cut now.
Heavyweight, maybe.
All right. So I didn't want to get into this, but a week ago or whatever, before Greg Hardy pulled out of the fight, he said he paved the way for former football players to get into MMA. You want to set the record straight? It was you, Matt Mitrione, Brock Lesnar. You were the three that really set the tone.
I mean, there have been several before him and several that have had more success than he has. So, I think that other football players paved the way for him. Now, I will say that, he probably has the best pedigree, the best resume out of all the football players to come into MMA. I was an all-pro in the NFL. So, man, like I said, he's probably got the best resume, but he certainly wasn't the first, and definitely won't be the last. So, I'm not sure what road he paved.
He can't pave a road that's already been paved. Kind of hard
to
do that.
Sure.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Anyway, so I do want to ask about the origin of the nickname. I know you said it's just because you always said help your boy out, things like that. But was it one of those situations where you're at a fight, you're at one of those shows, and you're like, hey, dude, we need a nickname for you. You're like, oh shit, I don't know, just call me your boy. What's the story behind that?
Nah, man, I've had several nicknames before, but your boy is kind of the one that stuck the most, and that I like the most, and that the fans like the most. So
what were the experiment ones?
Man, I've been the Savage, I've been Frankenstein. Those are probably those are just the two that I can think about the top of my head, but I even fought for Bellator with the name Frankenstein.
Really?
It just didn't really stick, and I feel like a nickname. It's also what they should call you, like Shogun and Rampage. I didn't know that Mauricio was Shogun's real name until maybe 2 or 3 years ago. I was like, oh shit, that guy.
Dude, I'm the same way. I'm the same exact way.
So no one was really calling me Frankenstein. I was just super stiff and kind of plotted forward like Frankenstein. So my coach started calling me Frankenstein and just rocked with it, but never really liked it, So it didn't really resonate. It just wasn't catchy. It wasn't, kind of sucked.
This wasn't it. Yeah, your boy's a lot more catchy, a lot more fan friendly. Your boy Anders, kind of that's good. It's just a good flow, But
Yeah.
last week, your former coaches went up against each other, Kirby Smart, Saban. Does it hurt a little less watching Bama lose if it's to Kirby Smart?
Um, man, I'm happy for Kirby. Bama can't win them all, and if they were going to lose, it's cool that they lost to a former coach and my former D coordinator. So, I'm super happy for Kirby. And man, there's another guy, their linebacker coach. He was a graduate assistant at Bama that Kirby took with them over to Georgia. So, to see him go from drawing up scout team cards to coaching Butkus Award winners and winning national championships, that's a pretty cool thing to see Glenn Schumann do as well.
I know you stay in contact with Saban. Do you still stay in contact with Kirby, or is that kind of
yeah, every now and then, every time I pass through Georgia, I holler at Kirby and Glenn and see how they're doing and whatnot. So yeah, super proud of those guys and wish for their continued success in the future.
I think you should pledge your allegiance to either Saban or Kirby based on who comes to your next fight. Like, you should be like, if you guys come to my fight, that's who I'll cheer for going forward.
Man, those dudes are always out. If it's not during the season, they're out recruiting and stuff. And, they're recruiting against each other. So, they're not going to take a weekend off to, come to Vegas or come to wherever my fight is at, They're going to be in the middle of nowhere, Alabama or Georgia or Florida or wherever, in somebody's living room talking to their mom and dad and uncles and whatnot, convincing them to come to the university. So, I know they got their priorities and, what they got to do for them to be successful.
So so going back to college a little bit, what do you think's worse? Was it like toward the end of two days with Saban or the weight cuts, the most recent weight cuts? Because some of the recent weight cuts have been easier than the former ones.
And to be honest, when Saban came, he wasn't all about, like beating up your body and not, because he wanted you to be able to perform on Saturday. To be honest, when Shula was there, practices were much harder under Shula, under Saban, because I don't think that Shula like understood that. I think that he was like trying to prove a point that he was tough, but he really wasn't like a tough guy, if that makes sense. So he tried to like, bring it out during practice, and everybody was like, dragging their leg, trying to make it Saturday. When Saban came, we did a lot less hitting. There was a lot less contact, a lot more mental reps. And so everybody was whole and able to play and was playing at 100% on Saturday. So, practices got easier with Saban. We were out there doing Oklahoma drills with Shula, and that's crazy,
Like the week before LSU, you guys are doing Oklahoma drills.
Man, it never fails. Every Monday, or I guess we had Mondays off, and then Tuesday we would get after it. We didn't have any days off with Saban, but practices were a lot lighter, and we didn't hit as much.
Which obviously works. It works. Like,
yeah, 100%. Because the end of the day, and that's kind of the same thing with weight cutting. I used to do so much to cut weight. So by the time the fight came, I was just like, man, tired and exhausted and didn't really feel like fighting. But now I do less. And the weight cuts are easier. And then, I show up every, on Saturday, so it's kind of the same thing.
So I do also want to ask, so I know before you were actually considering transferring from Alabama, you weren't getting reps, you weren't getting playing time. And then you talked to your dad and your dad told you not to, and then he unfortunately passed away. I'm just curious, did you have any idea what school, did you have any idea what schools you were looking at before, you made your final decision? Or was it just kind of like, I just want to go into the portal and see what happens?
Yeah, well, the transfer portal wasn't even a thing.
Not what it is today, yeah.
But, man, I figured just coming from a program like Alabama, even though, like, we weren't, like, it wasn't then what it is now. And I think this was after Saban's first year. I think I was a sophomore, and we went 7-6. And so, I just figured that transferring from like a big D1 program, I would land somewhere D2 or 1AA or something like that. You
could have gone to another red football school like Indiana University. rep the pride.
It might be too cold up there for your boy. So
No, it's definitely a little too cold for your boy.
I definitely would like to kept it south of the, in the south or southwest, like maybe go back home to Texas, kind of thing. But I didn't, and everything kind of ended up working out.
It did work out. And so I have one more football question before, or actually two, sort of. The first one is, what do you think your 40 would be right now?
Man, shit, I'll be able to give you 4 or 5 right now, man.
4 or 5?
Yeah, dude, to be honest with you, I'm probably in the best shape of my life. Not at this particular moment, but working out with Chad Ike, who's trained plenty of guys for the combine, and just athletes of every skill level and every sport. I just feel like I'm, when I'm working out and getting ready to fight, I'm in the best shape ever. And I feel more explosive. I feel stronger, faster, all those things. So, and I'm not as heavy, dude. I was like 250, 240 something, when I did like all that combine stuff, so I was just like big, stiff, and, 40 probably wasn't my best thing. So now I could definitely run a faster 40 now than I could back then, I think.
Just lose a little bit of pounds in the weights. That's really it, but that's not a big deal. That's not as important. Not as important anymore. So this is my last football question. So we're starting to segue into MMA, but like when you had this thing where you've said like in the past, like a fight doesn't really start for you until you really get hit in the face. Do you think that's something you picked up off of football? Because that's how I used to feel. I didn't really feel like a game started until I really got punched in the mouth.
No, dude, I don't know why I'm like that, and I wish I wasn't. I wish the bell could ring and I could just go out there and, get after it. But unfortunately, that's just the way it's never been for me. So I don't know. I don't know if there's a rhyme or reason for that, or what the issue is with that, or what it is. I don't know. But it's just kind of like you're going through the motions, and then you get, cracked a good time. It's like, oh shit, we're fighting. Okay, cool.
Like we're fighting. This isn't sparring.
Yeah,
we're fighting. Yeah.
So I don't know why. I wish I had an answer for you, but I don't have a clue.
No, you're all good, bro. And then
I tell myself, as I'm training, getting ready for a fight, before I go out there, while I'm in the cage, while they're announcing, when the referee says, "Fighter, are you ready?" I'm like, all right, man, we're gonna go out there, and we're gonna get after it immediately. But then the fight starts, and it just doesn't happen like that. So
it takes a minute to register. It just takes a minute to register. So I know you've said in the past too, like for you like MMA more, especially because you don't have to rely on other people. It's all you. So this is kind of a weird question. I might sound like a stupid ass by asking it, but what was more satisfying, the national championship that you were a pretty integral part of, or getting a knockout in your UFC debut?
Man, that is like a super tough question to ask, because like we won a national championship in the last year. Like that was like the last time I played football for real, So because it was the last time, it means so much more. If that would have happened like my sophomore year, my freshman year, my junior year, like it wouldn't be a question. But man, to go out there one-on-one, man-on-man, of equal size, equal weight or whatever, and to go out there and render him unconscious. And I'm not talking about like a TKO, like you hit him, he falls, he's still conscious, you get on top, hit him a few times, and he's done. I'm not talking like that. I'm talking about like hop on the tall, like boom, you see him, a face plant.
Eyes roll back and just go limp.
Yeah, and it's over with. There's like not very many things on this earth that are as satisfying. There's no drug that I've ever done, or nothing that I've ever taken that could ever possibly make you feel that way. So I think that knocking somebody out for me was more satisfying.
So I wasn't crazy for asking that. I thought that's based on like what I've heard from fighters and things like, I've never knocked anyone out. So it's like, I don't know what that feeling's like, but they've said it's like this euphoric thing that you just can't recreate. And it's just addictive.
Man, it's very primal is probably the best way that I could explain it. Cause I think everybody kind of has that in them. Like if you push somebody far enough, they'll fight. Some people fight faster than others. Some people are more willing to fight than others, but to sign up, say you want to go do that, and somebody says that they want to go do that against you, and then you go out there and do that to them, like I trained for that. He trained for that. That's not just some dude I got in a bar fight with. That's somebody who trained, who's competing at the highest organization, at the highest level. Dude, you can't, recreate that scenario, circumstance, or result, and any other, like, if you take one of those things away, like if it's in a bar fight against some drunk dude, I've been there, it's not that cool. If you do that against somebody who's never trained, it's not that cool. If you do that, like, I did that a lot early on in my professional career and amateur career, and it wasn't that cool. But to do it at the highest level on the biggest stage is, pretty, makes you feel really good, man.
Pretty damn good feeling. So yeah. So what was more humbling for you then? Was it being submitted by accountants when you first started jiu-jitsu, or was it cleaning apartments?
Man, well, they all kind of happened simultaneously,
It was a humbling year. Yeah.
To be honest, man, I really wasn't humbled cleaning apartments. I was just like angry. I was mad, and I just felt like, especially like within that, going from national champion to on my hands and knees scrubbing toilets in apartments, and I did a bunch of other stuff. Like I cleaned factories. I was a janitor at a lab core. And people are asking, hey, aren't you that guy who, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, that's me. And then, man, what you doing here, kind of thing. Just like knocking somebody out, like, man, there's nothing that's going to make you more angry than, going out there, earning this university, millions of dollars in revenue, kind of putting them back on the map, number one. And then within a year, man, you're in the same town. I live in Tuscaloosa, and then Birmingham, and then Huntsville, while I was doing this. So, it's I was just angry. So then I walked into a gym, started training. First thing I started doing was jiu-jitsu. And man, I was getting choked out left and right, dude. Like, especially with the gi, dude. I wanted to throw that gi out the window every day on the way home. I hate this gi. And but so that, definitely jiu-jitsu is more humbling, because it's like, okay, yeah, I'm doing this to work, and I had a son, so I had to provide, and I'm just doing what I got to do to make it. But in jiu-jitsu, dude, if you take the rules away, and this was like a fight or a wrestling match or whatever you want to do, like, you're dead. Like, that person just strangled you unconscious, and if they wanted to, they could mount you, beat up your unconscious body, keep squeezing, all the life out of you. So that's what you're doing when you tap out. It's like, okay, I don't want to die. I don't want my arm broke, So because of the rules of the game, like, they let you out. But, if you change at the time, if you change the rules, it really wouldn't make a difference. They'd still grab you, choke you, like you're defenseless. And that's when it's like the eye-opening experience. Like, dude, if this was in a bar or in the Walmart parking lot, you're done, dude. It's a wrap, so
you're dead. You're toast. Was it, yeah. Did you have like this alpha, not like alpha kind of thing, but like, were you too proud of yourself? Was your ego too big at the beginning? Like, when someone choked you out, would you like not tap and just kind of get put to sleep? Or how long did it take you to kind of just accept it's okay to tap?
Dude, I've always had like confidence, but I don't think I've ever been like arrogant. Like, I already know what's up, like walking into a room. I've never done this before. Now, did I expect to get choked out and tapped out by the people who were tapping and choking me out? No. But did I know that there were people better than me and like who knew what they were doing? And your athleticism doesn't mean shit, because I'm on your back and you can flip and roll and do whatever you want, but I'm not getting this person off my back, So I kind of knew what I was in for, but not really like the depth of what I was in for, if that makes sense.
No, that makes sense. Yeah, it makes complete sense. And obviously it's worked out. I mean, you've made a career out of yourself. You're in the UFC. You've become a pretty big fan. Everyone respects the game. You've taken short notice fights against killers such as like Thiago Santos. This is probably what everyone brings up. But I mean, you've done it before with others, and you kind of been through it all. Fan favorite. I do want to talk about the last fight, and when you're going against Muniz, it looks as if you're wiggling him off. You're doing the proper thing, and then all of a sudden, it just comes in some crazy ass armbar. What was kind of your headspace through that whole thing?
That's kind of like what I was just talking about. Like he did it so effortlessly. That's humbling, to get submitted in the first round. Regardless,
that was the first time of your career too, right?
Yeah, first time I've been submitted. First time I've been, especially in the first round. It's very humbling, and not that like I was playing him weak or didn't respect his skill set. Like obviously I knew that he had broke Jacare's arm the fight before mine, but I kind of thought that Jacare was playing him weak. Like Jacare let him get a little bit further than he should have, and next thing you know, his arm broke. It's just the way he set it up, dude, was beautiful. I have to give credit where credit was due. I thought that he was working for something totally different. And he kind of like made me give him my arm, if that makes sense. I thought, I don't know what the submission is called, but like Aljamain Sterling did it to somebody where they're like on your back and then they grab your leg, kind of make you do a split. Zabit did it to Cody Stamen. I think they did it the same night. So I thought that that's what he was working for, because he like kind of kicked my foot out and I was doing a split. And then I turned into him and I was on top and I could see his face and I was getting ready to fucking, like my mouth started watering, dude. I was like, dude, I'm finna crack his ass. I just need to like move.
You're wiggling him off. Yeah, like that's what I thought too. I thought you were gonna wiggle him off and just start.
That's the thing about jiu-jitsu, man. It's he was playing chess. He was so far ahead of where I was at that he got me. And respect, kudos, and that's gonna make jiu-jitsu beautiful, So with like I don't know, I think the word art is kind of overused when in terms of jiu-jitsu and martial arts in general, but man, that dude really is an artist and really good at what he does. So he really is a master of his craft. So, like I said, it's embarrassing, humbling, all that other shit. But at the end of the day, man, that guy's he's really good at what he does. So kudos.
Nothing you can do. You just gotta accept it and move on and just get better. That's really all you can do with those. So
yeah.
What for you? I know you like to stay active, and last year you had the two fights with Darren Stewart, then you had that fight. And I know that was only a month ago. Like, what's your plans for 2022? You're trying to be like three fights again, or what are your thoughts?
I would like to, but man, I just had stem cells.
I was gonna ask about the stem cells. Yeah.
So man, it takes like 6 weeks to like they say really don't do shit for like 6 weeks. So I'm gonna take my 6 weeks, which I don't usually do, but man, I had them in my neck.
The Peyton Manning special.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know what Peyton Manning had. I didn't have any.
He got him in his neck. He got him in his neck.
Yeah, I don't know. Like his neck was broken, or for what he did for why he did it in his neck. But man, my neck was hurting, and I just had a bunch of like aches and pains and shit, some nagging stuff. So I got the stem cells in my neck and other places, and so the doctor was like, "Man, you got to chill for 6 weeks because man, we just poked a hole in your vertebrae, and if you rupture that hole." And all that liquid and fluid and shit starts to leak out, man, it's going to be bloody and nasty, and it's going to be a mess, is the term that he used. I was like, oh.
Don't want that. Don't want that.
Yeah, I don't want that. So I'll, I may not take like a full 6 weeks, but I'm at least going to chill for a month. So then I got to get back in shape, then another 8 weeks to train. So, yeah, I mean, I'd like to fight 3 times. Yeah, early spring. I'd like to fight 3 times a year, but man, we'll see what we can get in. By the end of, by the time it's time to get back in and start training and whatnot.
Well, I mean, but more than likely you could get a first round finish and then step up late notice. I mean, with COVID, as we kind of said, I mean, there's always guys backing out. So if you want to get it, you get an early finish. Never know. Who knows?
Yeah. I'm, and they know whose number to call when it comes to the short notice thing. I'm always down, but
Always game. Yeah.
just let my neck and stuff heal, and then call me whenever you want.
So, like, how careful do you have to be then with the stem cells being injected in your body?
I don't think like I can ride in a bumpy car and stuff. I just I can't load, I can't squat. Obviously, jiu-jitsu is probably out of the question. Someone squeezing and wrenching on your neck, wrestling, getting punched and having it jarred back. And, you're supposed to just chill, rest, let the stem cells do their thing. And, if you keep aggravating them, they're just going to keep attacking like the inflammation and stuff, and the actual root cause is never addressed. So, I want to feel good. I want to feel better. So I'm going to do what the doctor said for once in my life.
Gotta follow the doctor. But if that's not the only weird surgery you had, you also had eye surgery. Weren't you like awake during it?
Nah, I had
No?
LASIK. I had like a PRK, which, LASIK is like they cut like a thing in your cornea and then fix it and then put the little flap. It's kind of like a mud flap on a truck. They lift it, shoot the laser in there, correct your vision, and lay it back down. But because I fight, I didn't want to do that because I've always heard people like the little flap comes undone. So I did what's called PRK, and essentially what they do, they take a thing and put it in your eye to keep your eye open, and then they numb your eye, and then they scratch a hole in your cornea with I don't think it's a scalpel. I'm sure they have like a special cornea tool. But yeah, dude, I'm looking at this dude and I can't like feel like the scraping, but I can feel like the pressure of the tool pushing on my eye as he's scraping a hole in my cornea. Then the laser shoots in there and does its thing, and then he does the other eye. And the
Could
first
you hear
eye,
it?
like, yeah, you can hear like the cat,
They're like,
cat.
oh,
Just
I'm thinking
as
of like the
of the
dentist. Yeah, like they just go at your teeth. Is that kind of what it sounded like when they're going into your eye?
No, it wasn't like a drill. It's like you can't hear him like scraping your eye, but you can feel like the pressure of the tool that he's using. And then the laser goes in there and kick. The worst part of it is they put you in a dark room, and it has the numbing goes away. Man, now you have a hole in both your corneas, and they tell you can't scratch your eye. So, dude, I was like just pacing back and forth in the little dark room there, just like because I just wanted to like, just go to work.
Yeah,
but I couldn't. So, and then I look at this other dude who's in there who just had LASIK. This old dude, he's looking at me like I'm crazy, and I'm just like, what are you looking at, dude? Like this shit hurts. How are you? And then he had LASIK, which is super like it doesn't hurt like PRK does, I guess. And but man, I went home, took some pills, woke up, and that was it.
Didn't have to wear an eye patch.
I don't think so.
That would have been kind of badass. Could have been just like a pirate for a couple of weeks.
Or yeah, like a blind pirate because I had it on both.
Oh fuck, that's right. It was not just one; it was both.
Somebody took me. Somebody took me home, dropped me off, down the hatch with the pills, and I kind of went to sleep, woke up, and I just had to wear sunglasses for a few days because the light was bright. But after that, dude, I've had perfect vision ever since. But I did have eye surgery. Like I had not like a detached retina. I don't know. I had some shit wrong with my fucking eye that like I was seeing double out of one eye, and it was fucking up my depth perception. So as I'm sure you can imagine, it's hard to fight if you can't really. You're
saying double, you got to figure out which one's real and which one's like
or even beyond that, like I couldn't really tell like how far or close the person was. I think I fought Jocko with my eye like that and just tried to wrestle the whole time, and it didn't work out too well for me. So I had it fixed after that. That was pretty gnarly. But I was asleep. But they when I was waking up, You know, I kind of woke up like tied down to the gurney or whatever, to the bed. So it's kind of like Gulliver's Travels, you know, it's fucking like, and you know, I'm just like, they're like, "Are you cool? You all right?" I'm like, "Yeah, man, I'm fine. What y'all talking about?" And it's like, "Man, you got pretty violent there when you were waking up, man. We had to restrain you." And I was like, "Man, listen, I'm like the calmest, coolest person that you could possibly have in this bed right now, you know. So I apologize." And like, "Nah, it's cool. It's something about young males, whenever they have this surgery, they all wake up like that." And I'm like, "Oh, okay. So y'all expected me to do that. Cool. Y'all could have told me that I might do that, but whatever." I guess, you know, you have I didn't have any recollection of cussing at anybody or yelling or, you know, jumping off the table or whatever. But, you know, apparently that's what I was doing. So
Like I've been tied down before too, and I had the same thing. Not the same surgery, but I've been tied down like that in surgery. They said it's like this is common. So bad boy Jon Jones has come to I don't think you're not in Phoenix. Have you been at the gym since Jon Jones has come and visited you guys
yeah,
over here in
yeah,
Arizona? What's it been
yeah.
like having him around?
You know, I think whenever you're in like the presence of, and dude, I don't even think it's a conversation. I'm not just saying it because like he's been in the gym, we've kind of developed a relationship where we're cool and we're friends and stuff. But dude, he's the greatest of all time.
He
He's
is
got
by far
the
the
best
best.
resume. He's probably beat the most champions out of anybody. So had the longest reign as well. Um, so I think that kind of goes into like the GOAT conversation when you're saying who's the GOAT is resume and longevity. Like how long was he the champion and who did he beat while he was the champion? You know, a lot of people in a long time is the answer for him. And man, you know, I really don't know if there's like a whole lot that he could teach me, you know, because very different body styles, fighting styles, fight IQ, you know, things like that. But you know, just being around him, watching him work, working with him, and just kind of like picking his brain, you know. And I didn't mean to say like there's anything that I could learn from him because of course you can learn something from anybody, but I'm not like I can't fight like Jon Jones. You know, I don't have like an 85-inch reach or whatever. I'm not 6'4". I'm not this. I'm not that. But you know, there's even from like a mindset standpoint, for you know, like self-talk, how he talks to himself before a fight, what he does to get ready for a fight, to make sure he's in like peak condition, to you know, just everything like the intangible stuff, right? Yeah, the stuff outside of a jab, a cross, a double leg, you know, things like that. I think those are the most important things you can pick up from a person who's been at the top where he's at. Because man, at the end of the day, man, to be in the top 5, to be in the top 3, to be in the top 10, they're all big, they're all fast, they're all strong. So what is it that separates them? Separates these guys from the rest, because it's not luck, you know. It's got to be mindset, you know. They're all skilled, they can all strike, they can all box, they can all do Muay Thai, they can all do jiu-jitsu, they can all wrestle, they can all do all these things, you know. Obviously you have like guys who are specialists like Charles Oliveira and stuff, but at the end of the day they can all do everything, you know. So for me, I think it's like a mindset thing. Like that's the thing that I want to talk to him about and learn from him, you know. So he's been very insightful on things like that.
Was it true that you actually said yes to fighting Francis Ngannou before you knew who
I
Francis
did.
Ngannou was? Oh my
I
God.
did. I did. I did. It's not that I said yes. It's like I got on Twitter and tweeted to him and Mick that I would do that. And I didn't know who the fuck Francis Ngannou was. Like I knew that like he was 6'4", 260. I've played football with guys who were, you know, bigger and stronger than that. And I don't think that he had like knocked any, like, I don't know if he certainly hadn't fought over. And this might be like his first or second fight in the UFC.
I
Like
think he got like a submission in his first one, if I'm not mistaken. He got like a submission.
yeah, like he ripped the dude's arm off, like, you know, on the Kimura off the wall or whatever. But I didn't really at the time, dude. Like, I really thought that I could go out there and knock anybody out, go out there and beat anybody up, take anything that anybody had. And, I would have done it if they would have said, if the UFC would have said yes, I would have showed up and I'd have fought Ngannou. Now, years later, I went and sparred with Ngannou. Not that I went and looked for him to fight him, to spar him, but, I went to Extreme Couture where he trains at, and it was sparring day. And, I quickly realized, man, with 4-ounce gloves, this probably wasn't the move. Kind of glad that it didn't happen. So, since then, I've, haven't really been calling out any heavyweights.
Well, you might have to soon with Whataburger around the corner.
Yeah, but it won't be Francis. It'll be another dude who's in that 230, 240 pound range.
The tweeners.
Yeah. It won't be the cream of the crop.
All right. So as I said, intern Harry here was going to be quiet until the very end. So this is a segment where I let him ask a series of 5 questions. If you like the question, you answer it, we move on to another. But if you don't like it, we stop and then we wrap up. You got it?
All right. Cool.
All right.
Yep.
Harry, you're up.
All right, awesome. So this is going to be more random than the stuff we asked during the main interview. So you said before that you're a pretty avid reader. What's your favorite book that you've read just in general?
My favorite book that I've read is called Gates of Fire. I forget who the author is, but it's about the Battle of Thermopylae.
Like 300.
I'm sure it's the same book that the graphic novel is based off of, which the movie is based off the graphic novel. So
yeah,
it's an awesome book.
Yeah, I took a class my sophomore year, I think, so 2 years ago now, based off of how the Spartans lived and their preparations for that battle. So that's a fascinating topic and one that isn't really covered enough other than 300. But
well, I mean, it's fucking ancient Greece,
yeah,
really, unless you take a class that's a class on ancient history, then it's not really a subject that people learn about and talk about, I guess.
Yeah, but
kick-ass
really
movies, always kick-ass movies.
But I love history. I love ancient history. I think it's wild that somebody can convince a group of other people to go march out on this battlefield and kill these other people, and for no other reason other than this king or whatever wants to be immortalized or wants to conquer the world or wants more land or wants, there's really no reason. They just do it because I guess it's human nature,
Yep.
So, but, to me, to run down on the battlefield with a rusty, dull ass axe or sword and hack somebody to death and poke them and, just the smell and the sounds and stuff, I think, that's out of this world for me.
Yeah, I totally get it. So good question. Moving on.
Yeah, go for it.
Yes, sir. So you buy that house in Arizona yet, or?
No. So the deal I made with my wife is that if I made it into the top 15, that we would buy a house out there, and I would probably stay out there year round and come back and forth and visit because I only want to fight for 2 or 3 more years. So just a little bit more sacrifice to try to make it to the top. But that didn't happen. And actually, the guy that I fought is now number 13 in the division. So I guess he can go buy himself a house in Arizona. And
you can always turn it this way, hey, we bought. You can. There is a infinite. There's a. I can't think of the proper. There's not going to be any more land made. You can buy a house. You can always sell it and make more money because the housing market always goes up. It only goes up.
I think finite amount is
finite.
Is the word.
That's the word I'm looking for.
There
See, the UFC fighter tells the podcaster the actual word. That's anyway. All right, Harry, move on. Number 3.
Number three.
Number three.
So other than the BCS national championship game, what was your favorite memory from your time at Alabama as a player?
Beating Tebow, maybe.
Beating Tebow?
Oh, yeah.
That
and just
Florida team
because,
was
just because, like, Tebow had like this thing about him that, if anybody, like the talking heads on TV and Herb Street and all these other guys, they talked about like he was immortal. And man, to be honest, like, I always sound like a hater when I say this, but I never thought that like he was that great. He had Percy Harvin, he had Aaron Hernandez, he had Chris Rainey, he had the Pouncey brothers. He had like
unreal
15
team.
first-round draft picks on his team. Duh, of course.
Yeah.
He's going to be good, So I didn't really never think that, I don't know. I didn't think his reputation preceded him. I didn't think that like he was just like this awesome dual threat guy with a cannon, that could throw the ball 100 yards or run a 4.3. I think like maybe his leadership qualities is, but him as a player, I didn't, really think that. I don't think that he's one of the greatest players of all time, even though he's got 2 national championships, maybe, and a Heisman.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. It's hard to articulate what I'm trying to say, but
I get exactly what you're trying to say.
I think he played on a fabulous team with great game plans, with awesome defense as well. So
he fit the system that was necessary to win. Is
they did excel. Like he put up numbers, but dude, if I had Percy Harvin and Aaron Hernandez and the Pouncey brothers in front of me blocking for me, I'm gonna win a Heisman too.
Wide open. Yeah.
Isn't it kind of funny to look back at the, like, obviously I know people like talk about it, like you look back at that team, that cast of characters, like, yeah, you're from every spectrum, you have it on a team. Like, it's just, dude,
I think that, conspiracy theory, I think that Tebow was the ringleader of all that.
Oh,
Tim Tebow put out a hit on whoever that dude that Hernandez, so he's the one who was out there with that coach. He's the one telling Urban don't discipline the coach for beating his wife or whatever they were up to. I think that Tebow was the ringleader of it all.
Start the rumor mill. Get the rumor mill going. All right. I think this is number 5, right?
This is 4.
No, this is 4. This is 4. This is 4. This is 4. Yeah. Level 4.
Do you have a favorite song to walk out to before your fights? Do you have like one set one, or do you like changing it up every time?
Man, I like to walk out to Set It Off by Lil Boosie, but the more and more I like watch fights and go to fights, even on the local show, I hear it more and more. And, I think it's, too many people are walking out to it. It's losing its mystique for me. I wanted my song to be like, like California Love when Uriah Faber walks out, or Thuggish Ruggish Bone when John Moraga walks out, or DMX whenever Anderson Silva walks out. But man, they kind of stealing my shine a little bit, so I gotta go find another song. But I'm 13, 14 fights into a UFC career, so can I really go back and change?
I think you got to change it now. Set a new trend before you walk out. Like, set a new trend before you retire, then everyone's going to copy that one too. Just a trendsetter here.
That's
never too long into a career before. You never too long into a career to change a few things up.
Well, Tom Brady went to Tampa.
Exactly.
Yeah, no one else wanted him though.
That's true.
Everybody wants my song.
Everyone wants a song.
That's true.
All right. Level 5. Right. Level 5.
Last one.
Who
you got tonight? Arizona or LA?
Dude, is the LA the team that the Cardinals were playing where AJ Green stopped running the route and Kyler Murray threw the interception in the end zone like the last play of the game? Like they drove the ball 98 yards.
Yeah,
dude.
And TJ Watt's coming back from that too for Arizona.
JJ.
Oh, JJ.
Yeah, TJ.
That's a slip of the tongue.
Oh yeah.
They're all the same.
TJ Watt's at the house now. He's kicking it.
Yeah.
After last night, but man, I'm gonna go Cardinals, man. I think that,
Cardinals.
Yeah, man. Let's see if the Cardinals can't get redemption and get it done. So. And my son's a Cardinals fan. How or why, I don't know, but
probably because he
really likes Kyler Murray. Yeah. So We'll go Cardinals. My heart says Cardinals. My brain says Rams, but we'll go with the red. We'll Cardinals.
So who do you even have a favorite? Do you have a favorite team, or do you just kind of cheer for all your boys from Bama?
Yeah, I just cheer for the Bama guys, really. You know, and I really don't cheer. I just kind of I'm like a spectator. I'm not one of those dudes who, you know, is a 5-star athlete and an all-pro from the couch. You know, it's fun to like look and post memes like after the game and whatnot. But
great meme, by the way. Subtle plug. Great memes on Instagram. We'll say
my my heart's not in it. So I know people who if Alabama loses, dude, their whole week is shot. Like they're arguing with the wife, they're fussing with the kids, their work week sucks, and I'm not. For me, it's not that deep. So it is what it is.
Just it's a little bit different when you played with a lot of those guys too, and just
I want those guys to do well, and
yeah, there it is. Anyway, so obviously you don't have a fight coming up. We're gonna be posting this probably next week, so hopefully your Cardinals thing went right. Before we let you go, man, obviously you got all the socials. Is there anything else you want to promote before we let you go?
Man, you guys can get at me Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at Eryk Anders, and make sure to check out FX Sups on Instagram, and some of the best supplements in the game, third-party certified, so you don't gotta worry about testing positive or whatever. A lot of people don't even care about that, but it's a big deal for me and the other fighters in the community and whatnot. So check them out, see what you like, give it a try.
All right, there we go. Eryk Anders for us. See you in a minute.
I appreciate it, brother.
Want to once again thank the sponsor of the show, Living.fit. It's that time of the year again, and Living.fit is your spot to help achieve all those New Year resolutions. Living.fit is a health and wellness company that will help you achieve all your goals, from building muscle, losing fat, and maybe trimming up that dad bod you've been accumulating over the years. Not only are there workout programs, we can help with your nutrition and build out your home gym. If you're a trainer looking to get certified in kettlebell or battle rope movements, we're the place to be. Make sure you go visit the website or download the app Living.fit today. Now back to the show. All right, that was an awesome interview with Eryk, a new friend of the program. Great talking to him. Very similar interest to us, football, fighting, all over the place. But it was good talking to him. So obviously, UFC 270, we'll get there. Let's talk about that first. Big weekend of football too, but we'll get to that later. But let's start off with the heavyweight showdown. There's nothing like it in sports. Two mammoths going into a cage, locked in there for technically 25 minutes. No one really thought it'd be 25 minutes. Who would have thought? I mean, if you were to be told that this fight was going to go 25 minutes and Francis Ngannou has torn MCL and a partially torn ACL, who would you think of won that fight?
Oh, easily Cyril Gane. I mean,
exactly. It's
easily.
Nuts.
The fact that Ngannou stood that out for so long and came out on top is just absolutely ridiculous. Shows what kind of an athlete he is.
I heard him talking about the Ariel Helwani show too, which we'll get to that later too, because there's some big stuff he dropped there. But he was saying how he couldn't move any light. He's like, I couldn't move laterally. There's a lot of things I wasn't able to do. So after the first 2 rounds, I was like, fuck it, I just gotta start wrestling. And I don't know how. I don't think there's any. Obviously, it was super scary when Francis Ngannou fought Stipe, and all of a sudden he learned how to wrestle. He was scrambling and he was able to actually defend the takedowns.
Mm-hmm.
That's been trumped by him slamming Cyril Gane with fucking power slam. Dude, my ribs hurt from watching that. That shit was that I was scared for Cyril.
Yeah,
it
was
that
insane.
Was ferocious. That was literally 2 silverback gorillas just going ham at each other.
Literally,
that's literally what it looked like.
Bashing into each other.
Crazy.
It was, oh my god, it was perfect.
That when the wrestling sequences though were really surprising. I didn't think Francis was gonna actually go through with wrestling. I thought he was gonna keep trying to go for the power shot, and it just kind of shows the evolution of his game, which we talked to Brandon Fitzgerald a little bit about it. You weren't here for it, but he was talking about it too. They really believed in his evolution as a fighter and how they were really they were excited to finally give him a chance to showcase those new skills. And I don't know, man. It was really cool. It was cool to watch that, and it's great to see. And you see these little glimpses where like Francis, I mean, like I don't know who's going to beat him in the heavyweight division. Like a lot of these guys are kind of built like Gon, like the future of the division. None of them are the same size as Ngannou. The craziest thing is, I don't know if you noticed this too, is like at weigh-ins they looked about the same size, like width, height, everything. They look the same size. They come into the cage and Francis is like 300 pounds. It was there was a noticeable. He just big brothered Gon. After starting in round 3, he just big brothered him the entire fight. It was
Insane. It,
oh, it's insane. And like I hate saying this because I make fun. I joke about it. Like you could really start making a case Ngannou could be the greatest of all time in the heavyweight division, which is where I want to say this is the UFC is butchering everything that's going on with Francis. Apparently, I don't know if you saw the leaked the messages UFC sent to his like manager.
no, I haven't.
They said some very racially insensitive things. So things like that. They said they were telling him they're going to sue him for even talking to Jake Paul's boxing promotion, and there's all kind of ugly shit going on behind the scenes. You have this guy who's you're Mike Tyson. He has the one punch power. He's showing wrestling. He has decent grappling. Like he survived.
Now he's an all-around fighter.
Yeah, he's an all-around fighter. He can do it all. He's turned into like Francis Nurmagomedov, and it's just like the dude's. The UFC is going to butcher this. I don't understand how the fuck they do this. It's for some reason it's not even just like it's the heavyweight division. You had Fedor. They never got him into the UFC, and he's regarded as the GOAT. For Harry, as you may not understand, they fucked. They have a terrible relationship with Stipe. Now they have this terrible relationship with Francis Ngannou. And I don't know if you noticed this either. Was Dana White didn't even put the belt on Francis. Did you notice that?
I did not notice that. That's
okay. So I think it was Mick Maynard was the one who put it on him though. But usually he doesn't wear the suits to the fights. He wore a suit to the fight. So they prepared for this. If Francis were to win, he was going to get. Dana wasn't going to do it. Then Dana didn't even have a post-fight press conference. Like he's such a little bitch about this. I don't want to say he's a little bitch, but it's so unprofessional.
That really is. That's a Tom Brady not shaking Nick Foles' hand after Super Bowl 52 kind of petty.
Exactly. which we'll get to later. Tom Brady, worst loser.
Yeah.
But I'm more on Francis and Dana's relationship going later on. But regardless, some people are saying it was kind of a boring fight. I thought it was kind of fun just because like I like seeing Francis's evolution as a fighter. I like Francis. I like Cyril. It was sad to see Cyril cry. He's like a teddy bear. But anyway, it was a fun fight. Let's move on to hell of a fight between Figueiredo and Moreno.
That was insane. They were throwing hands. They were moving around.
First off, the shorts Moreno wore, drippy as fuck. Yes. I've never seen the white and gold as
so
like the
nice.
championship colors. Dude, those were so clean. So I don't know why. I wanted to know why. Like I kept looking it up. So if anyone has the answers to that, please like someone say something about it. I want to know why he was wearing white, but super drippy. But Moreno isn't drippy, so I don't know why he was trying to be drippy. I'm saying drippy way too much.
Yes,
but
that's a torrent of drippy right there.
Yeah, I said like 5 times. Yeah. But no, it's he. I don't know what he was doing. Like before the fight, like he was like mean mugging and shit. That's just not him. I don't know why he was doing that. It was kind of weird. I was uncomfortable.
Maybe he was trying
I don't know if he felt uncomfortable.
Yeah,
he was like mean mugging.
Maybe he was trying to psych himself out, like in preparation for that fight. But
I've never seen him do it before, so it was a little weird seeing him do that. And then the other thing too was like when he was fighting Figueiredo, like in the first couple rounds, he was like talking shit and like I don't know what he was doing. Like that's not how he normally fights, and he's like talking shit and like taunting him and stuff. And it's just like, why? That's not your fight. Why are you? I get it. He's like thinks he's a superstar. He is a superstar. I can't deny that, but. He thinks he's like Connor. You're not Connor. I'm sorry, dude. You're not
the
Connor.
Nice guy.
You're not
Come on now.
Yeah, you're the nice guy. You're the nice guy that loves to play with Legos.
Yeah.
And Figueiredo's supposed to be the guy that's supposed to be like a shit talker, and he was a shit talker, but that's him.
So maybe,
and that's why I like.
Yeah, maybe,
that's why I like Figgy.
Maybe he was just trying to beat Figgy at his own game there, like get into his head before he could get into his own head, kind of thing. But clearly didn't work.
Were you able to listen to the commentary?
No, I wasn't. No.
Oh, they were so biased.
They were.
It was awful. It was on par with when Izzy fought Jan Blachowicz, and they all kept saying Izzy was doing all this shit to make it seem closer than it really was. Jan won that fight and he dominated, like Izzy, but like that fight wasn't close. It was close, but wasn't that close.
Mm-hmm.
This is the same way with this fight. Moreno got dropped like 4 times.
He did.
Figgy kept, Figgy was piecing him up.
It was
the entire fight.
Like Moreno got some shots in there for sure, but like Figgy was beating the shit out of him.
He was piecing up his leg. He was piecing up his leg pretty good.
Those leg kicks were filthy. Like,
they're great. And then Moreno did some spinning. I don't know why we're freaking out about this spinning leg kick. The fuck is that gonna do? It's not gonna knock him
Yeah,
out. It doesn't really. It might hurt his leg a little
it
bit. But
looks cool.
it looks cool.
That's
But
about
in
all you can
terms of
say.
like the risk to reward, it's not even close to that of like a spinning elbow, spinning heel hook.
Yeah,
Heel kicks, like all that kind of spinning back fist. The risk to reward is not worth it. So I don't know
no,
if you're like revolutionary. This is not revolutionary. That's not worth it. It's not worth it. But back to the main part, I like Figgy a lot. I've said this a lot. I think he's his personality. If they just let him be him, I think he can be. He's legit a cool dude. Like
yeah,
he's like I love the shit talking he had in the octagon. He kept pointing at him every time he'd touch him up, but I like Figgy, I like Moreno, but like that fight wasn't close. I know
no.
they want to do a fourth, um,
Why not?
or it was close. Sorry, they want to do a fourth. I don't know because Figgy's won two of the three,
Yeah,
and really the second one. He was coming off injury. He had a bad camp, and I think that I hate blaming that shit, but that's honestly the real reason he lost. He had a shitty camp, but
fair enough.
fun fight though, hell of a fight. It was the fight of the night. I'd say
Easily,
you can
easily.
it was probably the fight of the night, easily fight of the night. Yeah, you're right. It was easily the fight of the night, but big fan of that fight. It was
Hmm.
fun. It was a lot of fun. Lived up to expectation. It's one of the few fights where like every single one like lives up to the expectations of like this is gonna be a barn burner.
Yep.
So let's move on to the third. The third rest of the fights are just gonna kind of grace through. They're really because to be honestly, there's only a couple of them that really had big takeaways. The rest are kind of like, just no, whatever. So obviously, Pereira Fiala, like it was Fiala put on a hell of a performance for coming in late notice,
Yeah, and that was
and
what, his debut, something like
that
that.
was his debut.
That was
It was his
that was a
debut.
hell of a debut.
It was a hell of a debut. He's gonna be. I wouldn't be surprised if he's ranked eventually. Like he's a pretty good prospect,
Just give him time.
but
Like,
exactly give him time. The most frustrating thing about this fight was it was like Pereira had him wobbled a couple
mhm.
times, but he gets too obsessed with the highlight finishes. So like he's
Yeah,
obsessed with trying to do with like the flying knees, spinning heel hooks, like
the
all
flip.
the heel kicks. I keep saying hooks. Yeah, the flips, like all that kind of shit. But it's just like if he just took a second, hit him with a 1-2, hit him with a cross, I don't know, whatever. You could finish a lot of these fights a lot quicker instead of going for the highlight reel finish every single time.
Yep.
So
There's a time and a place for a highlight reel finish, and when you have
mhm,
someone on the ropes, like, you just need to finish them off,
yeah,
no matter what
it's
it takes. Just give him
yeah,
a quick right
he's
hook, just knee to the face, something quick, end it.
needed to face is a little
It's a little
it's a
flashy,
little high,
but
a little flashy,
yeah.
a little flashy. Yeah, he's got to learn to chill a little bit, but I think he's starting to. I
Mhm.
think he's starting to chill out a little bit. We'll see what happens. I mean, he's a fun prospect. If he can learn to tone it back a little bit, he could maybe be dangerous. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, let's move on to the next one with this guy will be a prospect, and it sucks, but you should never bet against Nurmagomedov. These
No.
dudes just win. It doesn't matter if they're related or not related. These dudes just fucking win. But like the fact, like it was an effortless. It was an effortless submission.
Yeah.
It was it made
You
me
just cinched it in and it was over.
yeah, it was so tight so fast. But I like Cody even though he ghosted us. Fucking I like him. But I really want to see the Saeed Nurmagomedov versus Jack Shore fight next. That was the fight that was originally
Ooh,
supposed to happen.
that needs to
I
happen
love
now
Jack.
after
I love
after that
Jack.
dominant
But Jack
performance.
well Jack fights in March. Hopefully gets a dub. We'll get a dub. Well, hopefully. We'll have him on.
Mhm.
Fun fact. But no, I'm excited for that. That's what I want to see next. It was supposed to happen originally, but we'll see what happens. Again, that was a pretty quick submission. Incredible performance for guys on fought as long as he has. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens going forward. Another Nurmagomedov who's going to contend. So
The
he's
cycle
on to
continues.
the cycle continues.
Yep.
Him, Islam, all those fucking dudes from Russia. Not so move on. Now we got the opener, Morales Giles. All I gotta say is Morales is a future contender, or maybe
It
future champion.
shows.
He's so fucking young. He's like 21, 22, and
It's
he
younger
took a
than me.
shot well, and then dished it out himself. I don't know. Like he has pretty good jiu-jitsu as well. Um, his future's bright,
Yeah.
man. I'm excited to watch him continue to develop and all that hoopla. So I think the biggest fight, biggest surprise, biggest upset was Victor Henry versus Raoni Barcelos. And it should never have been an upset because I don't know what it is in Barcelos' head where he just wants to stand and bang. The dude has awesome ground game, and he didn't try to take it down to the floor once. He did not try to take it to the mat. And I don't know
Yeah.
why he didn't. Like, it, I understand you want highlights, you want fighter of the night caliber stuff, or maybe you want to be a little flashy at the knockout. But if you can just take a dude to the ground and just drown him, like, why not? Like,
It's really
so
so simple on paper. Like, if you're good at one
it is,
thing,
but
you should just do that one thing over and over
well,
again.
he's good. Well, he's good. He's good all around.
Yeah,
I think, but it's just I don't know. Again, I've never been in a cage. I've never fought a human being inside of a cage, so I don't know what it's like. But
yeah.
uh,
You
it
never
sounds a lot
really know
simpler
until
coming
you do
from
it
me
yourself.
as a ranked prospect on the couch.
Yeah.
You know, I have a whole lot of information I could tell these guys. But yeah, I don't know what he was doing. I don't know why he didn't take it to the ground. Kind of a bad IQ play. So I don't know. He'll bounce back. I'm not too worried for Barcelona. It's fun to see Henry do that. I mean,
Yeah.
he's like every hardcore will tell you, oh, I knew Henry was gonna win. Blah 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 blah.
He's
Who cares?
yeah.
Sick dude. Like sick dude.
You
knew
got
Victor Henry.
foresight. Like, great
Yeah,
job.
yeah. Good job, dude. You knew who Victor Henry was. You knew he was going to be Ronnie Barcelos. Like, sick dog. Anyway, let's move on. The one fight, and this is our boy, Jack
Our
Del
guy.
Maddalena. Huge win. It wasn't even, it was flawless.
11 straight
Flawless.
in perfect fashion.
The jab was just so fluid. He touched, like, he could have finished him. He just kept jabbing him, and I think he would have finished him in the second round just by jabbing him to death.
Yeah.
Like, he broke his nose, I think, 30 seconds in.
That's ridiculous.
That was such a God, it was just the way it was so effortless.
He was just tossing them. Like,
oh my Lord.
It was perfect.
It was everything around was perfect. His head movement, the striking, the technique, the feints, everything. It was a great comment. And apparently I learned afterwards his game plan, he didn't want to tell anyone, was literally, I'm just gonna jab him and jab him and jab him and jab him.
Jab him to death. Just end it like that. Yeah, come on. If you got a strong enough jab, that's all you need, really. Just quick 1-2 on the jaw, done.
Yeah, it fucking works. The jab is is like the best tool you can have, most basic tool you can have. But it does wonders. In MMA, it does wonders. So, last fight I want to talk about, Matt, the steamroller for Vola. The fight me and Fitz talked about is one of the fights you can't miss. Dude knocked out Valdez like 6 different times, and I'm so mad you missed this.
Yeah,
it was literally like
highlights
2.5 minutes. 2.5 minutes. The best thing about Favola is he lives and dies by the sword, and it's like 5 minutes. Either he's out or he's on top of the cage celebrating like within 5 minutes. It's so kick ass. I love watching this guy fight. Oh, so much fun. So much fun. It was a great fight.
I'm just glad seeing that. I heard that the ref just let it go, and that's like the best kind of ref you can have. Like,
no, it's not the best ref you can have.
Worst and the best, because like, come on, you get the best kind of fight out of it, but. That's
if you're a gambler who takes Matt Favola in the first round by KO, you're sweating when you have a ref like that.
That's true.
Those guys take unnecessary damage, but to be fair, he was fighting back. He was fighting intelligently. By intelligent, I mean he was just holding on for dear life. But anyway, that's what we can do. So let's move on to performance bonuses and our fight of the nights. So I'll start off with my performance bonus. I already talked about it earlier. Cyril Gane's ribs. The fact that they didn't break when Francis Ngannou Batista bombed him to the mat, like that shit is like remarkable. Like I saw that and I thought I broke a rib. And the fact also like Cyril Gane also needs to get appropriate praise. He didn't get knocked out by Francis, and he's the only one to lose to Francis without getting knocked the fuck out or having his arm ripped off.
That's incredible.
Props to him for avoiding that touch of death for 25 minutes straight. But also, again, big props to his ribs. You got fucking Batista bombed, and you didn't break a rib. So,
it's
like
miracle,
real life
honestly.
Batista bombed. Well, he's also built different. So, no big deal. Not built different like me, who avoided COVID for like a week until he got it. But different levels of built different. Anyway, Harry, your performance bonus.
I'm gonna give it to Jack's fists because he was working them, and I mean that fight was over after that like 5th or 6th jab just ended it. You got to give it to our boy, and you got to give it to his hands.
Okay, respect. So my fight of the night, I've already kind of talked about it a little bit. It was Dana versus the Optics. So, and when I see my that, it's like it's him versus Francis, but it's like him versus like the public attention. So obviously you have all the Dana White dick riders who are going to say, he did the right thing. He had a stomach bug. He just had to go take a dump. I don't know, whatever the stupid shit he was. I don't know. That must have been a massive dump if he missed a post press conference too.
Oh yeah, so, it must have been at least a log out there.
massive, like a Randy Marsh kind of log.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
think about, so the way I like to put it out. I think I saw this, but this might also been an original idea. I don't really remember. It was Saturday night. I wrote this down. So think about it like this: imagine when Roger Goodell, after Deflategate, the Patriots win the Super Bowl. Imagine Roger Goodell not going up to that stand and giving them the trophy, and he makes like, I don't know, like whoever the vice commissioner is. I don't even know who the fuck that is. Like he has them go up there and then hands a trophy to the Patriots. That's the same shit as Dana White not going up and giving the belt to Francis. Like it's
Yeah,
just like a little kid kind of act. So like a part of me really hopes it's just promotion, and this is just them promoting this whole like Francis versus the UFC. Like it used to be the WWE when it was like Vince McMahon versus like The
yeah.
Rock and Stone Cold and all those guys. But I don't think that's the case, which sucks, especially after we said earlier, like all the stuff they sent Francis. So yeah, that's my fight of the night. It's Dana versus the Optics / Francis Ngannou. It's getting
Yeah.
a lot uglier than I thought it was going to. I thought they were going to mend their relationship, especially about midweek. They seemed like they were getting along, and then
I
he's just
mean,
acting like such a child.
you did say earlier this year that you thought they were going to be best friends by June, right?
Damn, I thought, yeah, I thought I was on. I
Yeah,
thought I
you
was
thought
on the money.
that was a clever take, but definitely not happening after 270.
No, it's not happening. Not happening. All right, your fight of the night.
I'm going with Figueiredo Moreno. I'm not good at
Figure.
pronunciation, but it was
It's
just
okay.
a barn burner. Like, how could you
We're
not?
not.
Yeah, how could you not sit down and like just enjoy the hell out of that? That was perfect. It was a great
It was a
fight.
great fight. It was a great fight. So you need one of those every single card, but yeah, we're not on this podcast to be pronunciators. We're on this show to give you the what the people see.
Yes,
We're the
exactly.
people's voice. Anyway, so one last little piece of news from the UFC or MMA world. Actually, this isn't even UFC. So recently, Jake Paul said he'd love to fight in MMA. Habib came out and said we'd love to have you in Eagle FC. And Jake Paul said, "Okay, only if I get to fight you in my debut." Now, I'm not a promoter, but I can
Ooh,
promise you that would sell very, very well, because you have to think about it like this: like the Jake Paul, like his pay-per-views, they fucking suck because no one wants to pay to watch all those shitty ass fights before and
yeah.
then watch him fight whoever he's fighting. Like none of us want to pay for that, so we're just gonna stream it, allegedly. So now that he might be facing Habib in an MMA fight, Habib's already an international superstar. He already sells a lot of pay-per-views. You put him against Jake Paul, that would sell a lot of pay-per-views. I would buy that. I would personally buy that because I know Eagle FC. Oh shit, I'm running out of power. I know they have the talent to withhold, like actually put on a really solid main card,
That would be
and
great.
it'd be incredible. It's
Oh
what
shit.
it would sell a lot. It would sell a lot. That's all we got for UFC 270. Nothing, you know,
Good card.
fun card, good card. No longer in fight week, so this week, end of the week, I mean, we'll give our usual, like, medals, Fraud Friday, all that kind of shit. But more football, basketball focused Friday show.
Mhm.
Which good. Let's get into the NFL. Maybe the best divisional weekend of all time. This was
Oh my
uh,
god.
what a weekend of sports. Let's just go ahead and start with the game that I would say probably sucked the most, and it was the Bengals versus the Titans.
Yeah.
Uh, only thing I really have to say about this, because this game, like compared to the other games we have, this game was kind of, it's cool seeing Joe Burrow win. It's great seeing the Bengals win.
Yeah,
I do
definitely.
love seeing the Titans lose. Joe Burrow is the new Andrew Luck, and I'm not saying that in terms of how they play. I'm saying that in
Yeah.
terms of he doesn't have an offensive line, and if they don't get an offensive line, he's going to be Andrew Luck out of the NFL,
Which would
and
be a
that's
damn shame because he can play. Like just like Andrew Luck could play, he could play. And
he's clutch.
getting
He's
sacked
clutch.
9 times and still winning, that's a feat. But the Titans offense really wasted that performance by their defense because, oh my God, that was
The Titans
ridiculous.
tightened their way out of the playoffs again.
Exactly.
And I mean, they got some questions going into this offseason. Like, I mean, like Derrick Henry's not getting any younger.
Hmm.
He didn't look. I mean, obviously he's coming off surgery, so he doesn't look as good as he usually does. But then you have that. You have him coming off of a foot surgery, so not even like as a guy that big and moves like he does. That's bad in itself.
Hmm.
And then you throw on top of that, you have questions about Ryan Tannehill. I mean, like Titans fans love to shit on Colts fans about Carson Wentz. And then Ryan Tannehill went out there and looked like Carson Wentz. But then you're like, oh, but that throw to AJ Brown. Carson Wentz does that shit all the time too. You're like, oh my God, he has it. But that's the infuriating part, is he does this really great play and then follows it up by being a fucking idiot. And that's
Yep.
what Ryan Tannehill did. He had 3 interceptions as a 1 seed at home. You guys haven't won a playoff game with them. You have to start asking these kinds of questions, like, is he the guy going forward? So for everyone who's a Ryan Tannehill truther and saying he's not a winning quarterback, we're still all right. We are still right. You got a number 1 seed, but you haven't won in the playoffs when it matters, which leads us to the next one. Aaron Rodgers.
Oh my god. Talk
Aaron
about
Rodgers.
Playoff fraud. Like, come on.
He's a massive playoff fraud, man. Like it's one of those things too where it's like, I'm trying to think of the right way who to describe it as, but it's just like every year we're like, this is the year the Packers are going to win again, or like they're great, and then they get to the playoffs and they choke every year.
It's the tradition.
Last year to be like, his defense got 3 picks against Tom Brady, they couldn't pull it off. This year his team allows their defense really only allowed 3 points.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for the fucking the fumble, the block kick,
Yeah.
there's no excuses except for himself. And
it's baffling.
The worst thing about Aaron Rodgers is, like, I really want to like Aaron Rodgers. I like watching him play. I like him on McAfee, but the dude just doesn't know when to shut the fuck up.
Dude's an asshole.
Like you scored 10 points against the 49ers at home when you're by far the best team left in the NFL.
Mhm.
And then less than 48 hours later, you're bitching about the White House and vaccines and bullshit. Dude, you gotta wait a couple weeks before you can start talking that kind of shit.
Yeah,
you just lost.
And you got
the first thing you're gonna
embarrassed.
talk about. That's the first thing you're gonna talk about. Like, come on, man. Like, I don't care what side of the debate you're on. Like, if the first thing that your quarterback is talking about after a loss is the vaccine mandate and who's in the White House, that's an issue.
Yep.
And
he's clearly out of Green Bay. Like, there's no doubt in my mind anymore. But
he's leaving. And as someone who wants Aaron Rodgers on the Colts, I will say this. I will take everything I said back the minute he signs with Indianapolis, and I will be a believer, and I'm okay with anything he wants to say. But before that happens, he is unbearable. And it's true. It is true. All the Bears fans are like, oh man, now you're hopping on the bandwagon of not liking Aaron Rodgers. But it's just like, you really notice it now that he's just, I don't even know what it is.
He covered it up for a long time, but now, like, that whole situation with his family starts to make a lot more sense after the recent meltdowns he's had. So
I do have something to say about. I do think that's a smart idea to Rodgers your family out of your life, which we'll get to that part later. But one last thing I want to say about this: Jimmy G just wins. Dude just wins.
Yeah,
it's
easy.
People just hate on him, and then he goes out and he wins. He doesn't throw a touchdown pass, but he gets a win. God damn it, he's a winner.
It's the Virgin versus Chad meme, but Aaron Rodgers is the Virgin, where Jimmy G's the Chad. Just like, I don't care, I just win. Easy as that.
Exactly. Easy as that. So let's go into Sunday. Sunday might be the best day of football in NFL history. Like, holy shit.
Ridiculous.
Bucs Rams. Let's start with this one first. It looks as if the Tom Brady era is over. He's washed.
Finally, thank God.
Rams are doing everything. Everything's over. But then the simulation starts to kick in.
Yeah.
And everything starts going wrong for the Rams. And I want to know what the deal of the devil is that Tom Brady has, because I'd love to sign up. Because everything goes his way.
Yeah, it's
everything. It's nuts.
Longevity for, like, free TB12 products once he gets snapped to hell.
Like, god damn. Like, it's one of those things where it's just like, on things you would never even think that would happen always happens for Tom Brady. Like, I know a lot of people say, like, Big Cat's probably the biggest guy to say, is like, it's like playing Madden and the computers won't let you win and everything just starts to hit the fan. So it's like,
you could be winning 35-0, and then second half hits in Madden, and it's like they come back no matter what. He gets that kind of he gets those games. It's insane.
He's gotten that his entire career.
Yeah.
Like, there's 5 separate times in that game where I probably would have quit and restarted. It's the one that would have made me throw my controller at my TV is when my all-pro kicker is short on a 47-yard field goal.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen
easily
to anyone not named Tom Brady. Like, what the fuck? How does he get this shit to happen for him? It just doesn't make sense.
The universe just loves Tom Brady, and everything lines up for him. I don't know how to explain it. It is unexplainable. The dude just wins, and everything falls into place, and it's infuriating.
Oh my god, he haunts me. So I don't know if I've said this on the show before, but I have a pool where me and 3 other guys, we picked teams. So originally I picked both Tampa Bay and New England. And about halfway through the season, when Kansas City sucked and Tampa Bay was looking like world beaters, I traded for Kansas City. So I traded Tampa Bay for Kansas City.
Oh,
Later on, I traded the Dallas Cowboys and the San Francisco 49ers for my Patriots. Sorry, so I got Patriots and Bucks. So I traded both the Patriots and Bucks for the Chiefs, Niners, and Cowboys. Now, here's the important part: the guy I traded those teams, the Patriots, and the Bucks to, he's a massive New England fan. So yesterday,
oh,
I'm talking all kinds of shit. Like my teams are all going to be in the divisional playoffs. You gave me two teams for the Bucks and the Patriots, and your teams aren't even going to make the fucking conference finals. You gave me two conference finals teams, you little bitch. And then Tom Brady. My entire life, Tom Brady has haunted my life. He has haunted my sports life every year. And I thought I have finally won. I am over this curse that haunts me forever. Preface: He will continue to haunt me. I don't care what happens in his future. He will
yeah.
haunt me forever. Anyway, back to the main part. Tom Brady starts coming back,
Because of
and
course he
every ounce
does.
of my butt, I have this pit in my stomach that it's going to happen again. He's going to hurt me, and I'm not going to hear the end of it. I literally, like, when they, after this that snap went like 30 yards behind Stafford,
Hmm.
I accepted the fact that Tom Brady was winning another Super Bowl. I was like, God damn it, he's going to do it again. And I'm gonna get shit on because all I did the entire season was talk about how I'm not a homer. You're so fucking dumb to think they're gonna win a Super Bowl, especially after without Antonio Brown and all those other guys.
Yeah.
That was I've never been more like I'm like he's gonna haunt me again.
God.
It's another nightmare scenario. But luckily for me, it didn't happen. But
It
enough Tom
just
Brady.
would pan out like that though. Like
Yeah,
we got
fuck
lucky.
him.
We averted
Fuck him.
catastrophe.
I hope he retires, or no, fuck it. I hope he comes back next year just so we can lose, but probably win a Super Bowl because I don't know. Supreme Dreams had a great video about it. Funny as hell. Mark Phillips, those guys, RDC World,
Yep.
funny as hell. But anyway, main thing I want to take away. I love this for Matt Stafford. That throw was everyone in the country was probably jumping up and down outside of Tampa Bay, New England, because that was years of being told you're not good, you're not elite, you're never going to make that play. He finally has an opportunity to make that play, and he
And he makes it.
delivers and he makes it, and it was perfect. He made two awesome passes. It's just again can't write this shit. Like you can't write this. Like not only is he playing for the Rams in LA,
Mhm.
I don't know how many fans are in LA. Every Detroit Lions fan is like praying to God he wins the Super Bowl, and I
I
think
saw
every
it.
team that's part of a dysfunctional organization. They're cheering for Stafford to win a Super Bowl because it proves that all these guys that have come in over the years, like their quarterbacks,
They
they're
were good.
good.
Yeah.
They just get fucked by their organization.
I saw a TikTok while I was scrolling through this morning of a Lions fan losing his absolute shit as Stafford made that pass, and I was just sitting there thinking, you know what? Good for them. They deserve this. They deserve it all, especially Matt Stafford. He deserves every good thing that comes his way because
Oh yeah.
for years of putting up with the bullshit in Detroit, for all those years of having Megatron and having nothing to show for it, he's finally pulling it off. And I if the Bengals don't win it, I hope that the Rams do because that would be perfect.
I'm all in on Stafford and the Rams, even
Yeah.
though they're not. I don't have them to win in my little pool. Actually, fun fact: I have 3 of the 4 teams. I have the Bengals, Chiefs, and 49ers. No big deal. No big
Damn,
deal. Bengals were my last pick too. That
that's
was the craziest thing.
huge.
They were my last pick, so no big deal. That was the other reason too. I was like, I'll have 3 of the 4 teams, and then Tom Brady will be the number 4, and he's going to fuck me again. He
Yep.
is going to fuck me again for the millionth time in my life. But thank God I don't have to worry about that anymore.
Tom Brady just hates everybody from Indianapolis or the Indiana region. I think that's just how it goes.
He knew. He knew. He
Yeah.
just had a feeling I gotta fuck Tommy Poor's life up one
Yeah.
more time.
There can only
So
be
let's move
one
on to
Tom doing well right now.
let's move on to probably the game ever for best game of all, maybe the best game of all time. Hopefully,
It's up
changes the
there.
overtime rules, which everyone's talking about. But God, I feel so bad for Buffalo fans because we talked about Tom Brady haunting me in Indianapolis and everyone else. Patrick Mahomes is going to haunt Buffalo,
Yep.
and Jackson Mahomes is going to haunt Buffalo
I'd
forever.
rather have Patrick haunting me than Jackson, but you know,
Jackson's gonna haunt them because
yeah,
he's gonna post stupid ass TikToks, shit like that. It's one of those things too where it's like I remember earlier when I said I want someone to Rogers their family. I want Mahomes to Rogers' family. So bad.
agree. I
I
agree.
really like Patrick. He's so fucking likable, and I actually think this is the rare instance. If you were to Rodgers' family, I think everyone would like him more.
I think, yeah,
Like
people would be
people would be
like,
like, "Dude,
yeah,
fuck
you
yeah,
made the right choice. You
you made a
cut
great
out
decision, dude."
a stupid narcissistic just glory hogging a brother, and we're proud of you for doing that. Good job.
Yeah, that game was crazy. Is
Oh
this
my
this
god.
I think the one I said a second ago, but it's one of those things where it's like Josh Allen and the Bills are like the Colton Peyton Manning of the 2000s. Mahomes and the Chiefs are like the Patriots. Like
Yep.
that's the rivalry we're getting, and that's kind of that is the urge you're getting. But if you're a Buffalo fan, this is how you have to feel. You're going to break through eventually. You're going
It's
to get
gonna
it done.
happen.
The only issue is Josh Allen's health. I don't know how long he can just be a bulldozer.
We saw that
That's
with
the only issue.
he reminds me of how Carson Wentz was playing in the year the Eagles won the Super Bowl. He's brash. He goes all out on every play, and that could lead to severe injuries if he's not more careful down the line, which is a major worry I'd have if I was a Buffalo fan.
I'm
But
gonna get more respect. I'm gonna give more respect to him. I'm gonna compare it to Cam Newton. When Cam
that's
Newton
a
carried the
better one.
team.
Yep, that's a much better
Yeah,
comparison. But
yeah.
I they played that game like it was a 10 out of 10 game for both quarterbacks. They couldn't have done anything better. It was just Patrick Mahomes did Patrick Mahomes things at the end. You gave him 13 seconds. That's too much time.
It's crazy. It's like everyone was joking on Twitter, like too much time for Patrick Mahomes. What really was too much time for Patrick Mahomes.
You really got to
It's
give him like 5 seconds. That's the most you can give him, I'd say. But even then, he'd probably do something stupid and like bomb it downfield to Tyreek.
Tyreek
And
is so fast he can cover like
yeah,
that
exactly.
distance. I actually thought they were gonna miss the kick because Bucker missed 2 kicks that game. And I was like, oh, it's finally gonna happen. We're gonna have a missed kick, and that's the way this thing's gonna end. But he drilled it. Yeah, god damn, that game was crazy. And hopefully this is what changes the overtime rule. Like just for the playoffs.
I hope so.
Just for the playoffs.
The fact that Josh Allen didn't even get a possession is fucking ridiculous. But I mean, once Casey got the ball, you knew it was over because you knew Patrick was just going to march down there and put it in the end zone. There was no doubt about it. Like it was over.
So one last thing. No one cares about your bets, but I put $25 on the Chiefs right after the Bills scored at plus 1,500.
Wow.
And I immediately cashed out after the field goal. It was one of those things just like, fuck it, dude. Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league. Let's just see what happens and just put it in. Fuck it. Why not? Let's see what happens. I cashed out right away. Made a lot of money on that. No one cares about your bets, but I did that. Yeah, I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of myself on that one. But obviously, got some great games next week. That's really all I got for Chiefs Bills. Again, great game. You're gonna hear a lot more intelligent people talk about it in a better way. But I had to break in and say Cam Newton over Carson Wentz because I think it's disrespectful to Josh Allen to compare him to
That's fair.
Abomination.
But that 1 year, that Carson Wentz was good. That 1 year.
That's why the 16 weeks or whatever it was.
Not even. It was 13 weeks, and then he tore his ACL against the Rams.
Then he's never been the same since.
Never been the same.
Never been the same. Never been
Damn
the same.
shame.
All right, yes. Damn shame. So anyway, that's the show. We got Pierre Garcon and Pat Boylan coming on Friday. Pat, for all of you out there who may not know, he's a Pacers announcer. He does radio. Cool dude. Actually, family friend, so kind of cool. He'll be a lot of fun. But yeah, great show coming up then. Then next week, we'll get back more into the UFC. We'll talk about the UFC a little bit on Friday, give some frauds, maybe some medals. Who knows? I don't know. This is going to be our first time doing the medals. I keep forgetting to do it, but I'm not going to forget to do it this time. So, yeah, going to be fun. A lot of cool shit coming up. A lot of cool guests coming up. So, we'll catch you guys on Friday.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking around with me all the way to the end. I just want to once again thank the sponsor of the show, Living.fit. If you're looking to better yourself, make sure you go to download the app or visit the website Living.fit today.